All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you. Going to be a fast one today. Netflix to premiere documentary on the 250 million QuadrigaCX scandal next year. In case you guys don't remember what that was, it was covered on the channel a couple years back, maybe even 3 now, in 2018, and it was basically a Canadian exchange, and the man who ran the exchange basically ran it on a laptop, and he had complete access to the private keys of everybody's crypto that was on that exchange. And then for some weird reason, he randomly flew to India to do charity work and then allegedly died of Crohn's disease, leaving the entire exchange completely locked because the private keys had disappeared. So next year, Netflix will premiere a new documentary on the QuadrigaCX scandal called Trust No One, The Hunt for the Crypto King. It's going to tell the story of Gerald Cotton, the founder of the Canadian crypto exchange, who died while on a honeymoon in India in 2018 and was thought to have taken $250 million in customers' funds to the grave. The press release from Netflix says the documentary will follow a group of investors turned sleuths as they try to unlock the suspicious death of cryptocurrency multimillionaire Jerry Cotton and the missing $250 million they believe he stole from them. So some people thought that Cotton hadn't actually died, but instead faked his death and fled with customer funds. In December 2019, lawyers representing out-of-pocket customers requested that Canadian police dig up his grave to actually check and see if he was there. The Canadian police denied his request, and people these days generally accept that Cotton really didn't die of Crohn's disease, but he had taken the keys to customers' funds with him to the grave. According to post-mortem findings from Ernst & Young's, Cotton had been siphoning funds from QuadrigaCX well before his death and spending them on luxury items such as cars, planes, and yachts. And to do this, Cotton created a fake account on QuadrigaCX and then bought his customers' cryptocurrencies using fake Canadian dollars. Things came to a head when the Ethereum market, to which Cotton was deeply exposed, crashed in 2018 and wiped out his wealth. Investigative work by Amy Castor detailed how Cotton had been scamming for years before crypto was a thing. Cotton was knee-deep in Ponzi schemes, including one that was later shut down by the FBI. The crypto king in crypto canon would make Cotton the male equivalent of the crypto queen, named by BBC journalist Jamie Bartlett in his popular radio documentary. So another thing that actually happened during this QuadrigaCX, it was found that basically all of the cryptocurrencies, or at least some of them, were actually not on QuadrigaCX. Instead, they were on a completely different wallet, not even on the exchange. And in some cases, these cryptocurrencies were actually being traded on different exchanges. So the whole thing was just a complete mess. And this man died of Crohn's disease, allegedly, and had all of the private keys to $250 million and was in debt previous to this, was trading people's funds, was taking them, and was putting other funds and using other exchanges as holdovers for your crypto that you put on it. So it's hard to even say if QuadrigaCX was barely even an exchange to begin with, considering a lot of the cryptocurrency was straight up on different exchanges or just in private wallets. Moving on here, UAE regulators approve crypto trading in Dubai free zone. So financial regulators in the United Arab Emirates have reached an agreement to officially allow and support cryptocurrency trading in an economic free zone in Dubai. The Dubai World Trade Center Authority announced Wednesday that it had signed an agreement with the UAE's Securities and Commodities Authority to support the regulation and trading of crypto assets within the DWTCA free zone. The new initiative establishes a framework enabling the DWTCA to issue necessary approvals and licenses for financial activities related to crypto. As part of the agreement, the SCA will also supervise major crypto-related activities such as issuance, listing, trading, and licensing processes. According to the announcement, the agreement was signed by SCA acting CEO and general director, as well as an executive at the Dubai Department of Tourism and Commerce Marketing. Al Suwadi said that the new project comes in line with the DWTCA's commitment to expand its services as a free zone and support new technologies such as non-fungible tokens as Dubai continues its drives towards an innovation and digital-led economy. So it's unclear exactly when this trading will begin, but It's pretty well known that in general, the UAE is a very rich country, although there are some documentaries and such out there where most of the people in the country are not so much, but Dubai itself has a ton of wealth, if you want to put it that way, and could potentially pump crypto and add additional volume and liquidity, etc., to the globe. And so this is just a good thing, period. It could result in, a lot more people buying into cryptocurrency. Moving on here, El Salvador might put Western Union out of business by igniting Bitcoin mainstream adoption. And you know what? I don't think I care if Western Union actually went out of business. Now, they do provide a service for a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but they provide a very expensive service. In a lot of cases, people will come from across the border from a nation and they'll work under the table and they'll make a bunch of money and then they have to send it back. So they use Western Union to do it. And it's a huge percentage fee of what they send back, because if you send US dollars to Mexico or something like that, it's worth an exceptional amount of money. And if there's a huge fee taken out of it, then that's, an exceptional amount of money to the people on the other side. So Mario Gomez Lozada, former Merrill Lynch and Credit Suisse banker, estimates that the combined loss in revenue for MoneyGram and Western Union will be close to $1 billion. So Chivo set to increase Salvadorian population's wealth. In 2020, Salvadorians receive close to $6 billion in remittances from friends and family abroad. Nearly 70% of all Salvador's citizens receive cross-border payment and pay up to $440 million in fees to payment giants out of $6 billion. So that's a huge chunk that you actually have to pay for remittance fees. One of the leading factors in the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender was the prospect of reducing cost of accepting cross-border payments and increasing the overall wealth of Salvadorian diaspora. So Matt Hogan, Chief Investment Officer of Bitwise, commented on the utility of BTC for remittances. He says, remittances are one area where the status quo in our legacy financial system is terrible, and extraordinarily high fees leveled at populations that can ill afford them. The government introduced a virtual wallet that offers commission-free borderless payments. Proponents consider that the implementation of Bitcoin in the country will not be easy. However, it remains to be seen how Salvadorians tackle the challenges of adopting new age money. If payment giants wish to remain relevant and compete with the Chivo or the app, they will have to lower their commission rates. Despite initial glitches and roadblocks, El Salvador's virtual wallet is now the #1 finance app on the Play Store as the masses continue to embrace Bitcoin. Experts have cautioned Salvadorians in embracing the new virtual wallet, stating that the wallet is nearly as centralized as a bank and the government can freeze it at any time. Bitcoin represents decentralization, and storing it in a decentralized wallet downplays, or in a centralized wallet downplays its purpose. And I totally agree with that, absolutely. However, getting a whole population into Bitcoin, at some point they will realize that this wallet is, obviously very centralized, and many of them may, turn to different things. I would even say that even turning to certain exchanges would be better than the Chivo wallet, even though the centralized exchange is arguably just as centralized, but it's likely not going to block you as much. But, there will be people who will be downloading actual Bitcoin wallets and then using that instead, or just transferring from the Chivo wallet to those Bitcoin wallets. And we'll have to see how the government reacts to that. But for the most part, this guy here says Bitcoin will save El Salvador's economy $400 million per year, just in those remittances that go to Western Union and MoneyGram, etc. But moving on to CoinGecko here, we're at 43,000 Bitcoin, 3,055 Ethereum, so not really going anywhere. The other day we were at something 2,900 Ethereum, so we're up a little bit from that. And it does seem like prices are trying to recover here. We can see over the past 7 days it's down, but there is some bounces here right on the end overall. So maybe the FUD of the China ban and Evergrande is going away a little bit, but Evergrande still isn't gone entirely. If they go under, it's going to affect the markets, stock markets, cryptocurrency markets. So we'll have to just all hope that either the Chinese government bails them out or they figure out their debts and bankruptcy in some way, shape, or form that doesn't cause a ripple effect across the globe. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell subscription button as well, because YouTube will not notify you that I have made a video unless you hit that button and have YouTube notifications on. But that's all I have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, I'll see you guys next time.